People think plywood is the ugly and cheap option, but today I'm going to change your mind 5 times. So today I am walking you through 5 amazing pieces of plywood furniture that look high-end, but are super simple to build. And as always, I have the detailed tutorial and the step-by-step plans available for you for every single one of them, and they are linked in the description below. And a quick note before we dive in. Almost every single tool that I show and use in this video is linked in the description below. And you should also see it pop up right underneath the video when I show that tool or use it. And if you are watching this on TV, there will be a QR code that pops up so you can use your phone to scan it and go grab that item if you need to. Now, let's dive in. So we are kicking things off with this super sleek modern bench. And if you saw this at a high-end home store, it would easily cost you a few $100s, probably upward of $500. But we are building it using less than 1 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. And it is very easy to build it. It uses a circular saw and a nail gun and maybe a miter saw, but you could still make all of these cuts using just a circular saw. Now here's a beginner tip for ripping plywood into clean strips. I just clip a rip cut guide onto my circular saw and it gives me straight, even strips every single time. No table saw, no stress. Of course, if you have a table saw and want to use one to make these plywood strips, that is totally fine too. And then it's just a matter of glue, stack, and nail on repeat. It's literally the same things that you do on repeat, and the plans show you exactly what to do and how to stack them up. Traditional woodworking tells you to hide plywood edges because they look unfinished or ugly, but today we are completely flipping the script and we are embracing those raw laminated layers and making them the star of the design in this project. And if you want to learn more about the types of plywood and picking the right plywood for your project, I do have a detailed video about that as well. And for a beginner project that takes just about a weekend, this looks so high-end and it's a tough one to beat. Oh, and if you are new here, I am Anika and my goal is to demystify DIY and inspire and empower you to build all of the things. I want to show you that you really can build that dream project that you've been thinking of, even if you have never touched a power tool. So if that sounds like you, hit that subscribe button because I have a ton of tips, tutorials, and beginner-friendly projects that you are going to love. And if you're just getting started, I do have the Power Tools Simplified Guide, which is a set of 1-pagers on the basic 5 power tools. And it also comes with a few other bonuses. So grab that in the description below. And now, let's get to the next project. Now, next up is this plywood headboard. The frame is built with 2x4s, and these 2x4s are not going to be visible at all. The best way to put this together is pocket hole joinery, which really, if you have followed me for a while, you know I love pocket hole joinery because it's the easiest joinery out there to get started. It's basically an angled hole that screws 2 boards together with a hidden solid joint. And if you want to learn more about pocket holes and how to use them, I have a detailed video about that as well. I made mine king size for our master bedroom, but the design can be scaled to whatever bed size you have. And the whole thing comes together in just about an afternoon. And now for the part that is the star of the show, the plywood. I scored a couple of partial strips for free from a local lumber shop where they were just cut-offs and the shop just wanted to get rid of them. So I was glad to grab them, but I think these are maple plywood. I went with a diagonal direction for the grain to add a little character, and also because the pieces were kind of narrow and this was the only way I could actually build a king headboard. But it does make the entire headboard look so amazing. So this is the one spot where I'd say that you should definitely splurge a little, since the plywood front is the whole look of this headboard. To finish it, I covered all of the edges with edge banding, and if you've never done that, I do have a full step-by-step video on how to cover plywood edges linked in the description as well. A little stain and top coat, And now it sits in my bedroom, adding the exact amount of warmth to the entire look. We're halfway through, and this is my favorite one to show off because it spins. I built this rotating bookcase for my son's room when his books and Legos had completely taken over and we really needed a decent storage solution. It is built with about 1.5 sheets of plywood, and I rounded the corners with a jigsaw to soften it all up. Now you can get a lot of tear out with a regular jigsaw blade, so I like using a top and bottom cut blade for splinter-free edges with a jigsaw. I also added a few dowels in there to act as bookends. The entire bookshelf is put together with pocket holes, which again, as you know, are one of my favorite ways of putting everything together, and they make it all so beginner friendly. Now this time, because I was going to be painting it, I covered the edges with a wood filler, which can be a bit time consuming, but it's definitely cheaper than using edge banding. But once it was all sanded and painted, you'd never even know that it was plywood underneath, so it was totally worth it. It sits on a lazy Susan in the corner, and I love that it adds so much storage without being overbearing. And I've also seen some of my readers build it for their shoes or toys, etc. And if you want to build this exact one, the detailed step-by-step plans are linked below in the description. So I want to take a quick moment to ask you a question. Be honest with me. How many DIY videos have you watched this week? Because I get so many messages along the lines of, Anika, I have watched every single one of your videos to help me get inspired and finally get the confidence to use my saw. But here's the truth. You cannot watch your way into confidence. You cannot motivate yourself into a skill. The only way to stop being intimidated by tools is to actually turn them on. And the only way to learn how to build is to actually build. You don't need any more information or any more videos or theories. What you need is a tool in your hand and some sawdust on your floor. And that is exactly why I created the Fearless Woodworker. It is not a dry series of lectures. It is a project-based journey where each build is a stepping stone. We start simple with just a saw and a drill and I show you all of the basics so you get confident with the basics. I incrementally add new tools into your arsenal as your confidence grows. And by the time you're done, you'll be confident using a table saw, a router, and so much more. You aren't just watching tutorials. You are mastering woodworking 101 through action. But here's the thing. I know it's not just the fear of tools that's holding you back. It's the fear that, what if I get stuck? Who do I turn to? Who do I ask questions? And this is why in this program, you are not doing it alone. I have a 24/7 community group where you can share your progress and get help whenever you need. Plus, I host live monthly Q&A calls where you can come, ask your questions, get unstuck, and it also keeps you accountable. And the best part, my favorite part, is we create a community. We make friends, we hang out, we talk woodworking. I am going to be with you every step of the way in this program, making sure that you keep moving forward. And by the end of the program, you're going to walk away with not just 5 amazing projects that you just built, but you're going to walk away with a lifetime of skills. You wouldn't have watched a woodworker, you would have become the woodworker. And you will finally be the person that will look at something and say, oh yeah, I can build that. So if you're ready to stop watching from the sidelines and start building, join the Fearless Woodworker. It is the program and community I wish existed when I was starting out. Let's get you in the shop and get those tools running, because I cannot wait to see all the amazing things you build. Next up, we are tackling home office chaos. Most filing cabinets are either ugly, clinical looking metal boxes, or they just cost a fortune at designer stores. So I'm building my own printer stand and filing cabinet in one. And the core of this project is just a sturdy plywood box. If you can make 4 straight cuts and drill a few pocket holes, you can easily build this box because it's super beginner friendly. Now, I know that building drawers can feel incredibly intimidating when you're just starting out, but don't let them scare you because I keep the construction as straightforward as possible. Each drawer is just a box, pocket holes to put it together, then the bottom attached with glue and a few finished nails. When it comes to installing drawer slides, you want to take your time. Use a simple spacer block to align them perfectly to the sides, and they will slide beautifully every single time. And I promise you, it is much easier than you think. And if you want to go deeper, I do have a full video that walks you through 3 different ways of building drawers, so you can pick whichever one clicks for you. And I have linked that in the description as well. To completely transform the look and hide the plain plywood face, I took some inexpensive half dowels from the home center, cut them to size, and glued them across the drawer fronts. And this one detail instantly elevated that whole piece into a custom high-end furniture look. And instead of letting it hide in the corner like a boring metal cabinet, I wanted this one to stand out, so I primed it and painted it this gorgeous whimsical color. For the feet, I just bought some pre-made ones and attached them. Now the printer has a dedicated home, the files and supplies are finally organized, and I love looking at it. I saved my absolute favorite for the last. This gorgeous small dresser is so super easy to make. I used walnut plywood to build this, and the outer shell of the dresser is just another classic plywood box. But if you are building a box for multiple drawers, squareness is everything. So take your time measuring and checking for square and making sure that everything works before you go on to the next step. And then for the drawer fronts, I wanted something truly show-stopping and decided to add a pattern. To do this, I brought out my Cricut Maker 3 and cut walnut veneer into the pattern I wanted. Then I glued them onto the oak fronts for the rich light and dark contrast. To finish it off, I applied walnut edge banding so the whole thing looked completely seamless. I built a little leg frame using 2x2s, but you could also buy store-bought legs just like we did for the printer cabinet if you wanted. I finished it with boiled linseed oil, and now just look at her. The geometric fronts, the deep walnut grain, and the clean lines. So there you have it, a bench, a headboard, a bookcase, a file cabinet, and a little dresser, all made from plywood. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, plywood is not the cheap, ugly option. It is one of the best kept secrets in furniture building. And not a single project that I just shared is as hard as it looks. And remember, if you're ready to build any of them, I have the detailed step-by-step plans and schematics linked for all of them in the description below. And every one of these projects has their own detailed full-length video from start to finish on the channel. So once you pick the project you want to build, you can go follow along. But whatever you decide to build, it always starts with the first cut. So check out my How to Build a Plywood guide and you will be all set for the next project. You've got this, and I'll see you for the next one.